Hi, welcome to Gentle Yoga. I'm Cyndi. Happy to have you. We're going to make a start lying on our backs in a comfortable position. You will want to have a block, or excuse me, not a block, a strap, a blanket, and a pillow. I recommend that you put something under your head if that's comfortable for your neck, because we'll be on our back for just a little while as we start bringing our attention to our breath.
Yeah, that's right. So get comfortable on your back. I'll get the volume here going so you can hear me through the microphone. All right. So as we lie on our back, we decompress the spine. So let's bring our attention to our spine. Adjusting the legs as you need to get comfortable. If you need a little pillow underneath your knees, you can add that. Or you can simply bend your knees and let your feet rest flat to the floor. Yeah, and just imagine each breath as you exhale the spine, relaxing more, decompressing, and feeling an increase in circulation along the spine. And if you can even take your imagination a little deeper and imagine as the spine relaxes and the flow of blood, circulation, lymph fluid, and energy flow along the spine, that all the organs are getting nourished as we get horizontal. Notice if there's any tension in the shoulders. See if you can relax a little bit more in the upper body. Even though we're not putting any weight bearing on the shoulders, we still tend to hold some tension in there, from unconscious patterns. We bring our attention to the shoulders with an intention to relax on the exhale a little more. We free up that energy that's been consumed by holding tension in the muscles, and we recirculate that life force through the body. And this helps to eliminate stagnation. Just continue to put your attention on the breath and notice as you inhale an expansion internally, feeling a little stretch internally. So just by lying still, we can still stretch by opening our capacity to receive the breath more deeply and more fully into different parts of our body. Wherever we place our attention, there's more energy, more circulation. So find a particular area of your body that needs a little extra attention. And imagine breathing right into that area. It could be a joint, organ, a muscle, or one of your senses. Just let your attention be drawn by the pull of your body's intelligence to an area that needs a little extra breath or life force. As you take that breath into that area, imagine that either it's a muscle or a joint or an organ or one of your senses. Imagine that particular area of focus drawing the breath into itself. Using that breath to stimulate more life into this area of the body, more circulation, and then exhale, allowing that area of your body to release anything that's been hanging out that restricts the flow. Continue to do that for 5 more breaths in that particular area. And adding the element of visualization if you'd like, if it's a capacity that feels playful for you to imagine images of that particular area of your body receiving the breath as maybe more light, and exhaling, releasing the breath and seeing density or darkness or some kind of an image, maybe a dark cloud leaving that area of the body. Good, and just one more breath there. And then we'll integrate this area of the body with the rest of the body in a full breath. Take that breath in and imagine you're breathing through every pore of your body. Raising the arms overhead, stretching up. Letting your knees rock from side to side. Nice and easy, gentle twist of the lower body. You can coordinate these movements with the breath. And noticing the spine going into a little bit of twist from the waist down. And only rotate as deeply as it feels comfortable and supportive for you. And then bring your knees back to the center. Reach your arms around and draw those knees into the chest for a nice stretch for the back. Bringing your breath and attention to the low back where you feel the stretch. Taking our hands to our knees and drawing those circles with the knees together. Let's see, feeling the sacrum going around the edges with its contact to the earth below and reversing direction. Good, and back to the center, separate the knees, now about hip width apart, and we'll do independent circles with the knees. Letting the hands support the movement. Just looking for and feeling for a nice, gentle, slow movement that's fluid into the hips. These knee circles, reverse direction. Bring the knees back together. This time we'll place the feet to the floor. Rather than hip width apart, bring those knees and those inside of the ankles together. And then slowly externally rotate the hips so the soles of the feet find each other. And then bring the palms together in front of the heart. And as you firmly press the soles of the feet together, firmly press the palms together, creating some tension in the legs, some tension in the arms. And then slowly relax that tension and feel energy flowing back into the muscles. Good, again, pressing firmly. Create tension in the legs, tension in the arms, feeling contraction in the muscle. And then relaxing the muscles, relaxing the effort. And one more time, this is similar to tensing and relaxing, a little bit different as we're pressing towards the center line of the body, towards the spine, drawing attention and energy in towards the center of the body. And then relax. Good. Go ahead and extend the arms out to the side with the palms turned up, noticing circulation of energy moving out to the hands. Good. Let's draw the right knee up. Keep the left knee towards the floor. Bring the right knee up. And then slowly extend the right leg. Draw the arms overhead with an in-breath. Feel a nice stretch along the sideline of the body. And then interlace the fingers and bring the hands down towards the heart. And then pushing the heels of the hands towards the foot. Flex the foot. Pulling the toe back towards the hands. Feel the stretch on the top of the shoulders, the back of the leg. And then draw the arms up. Getting a stretch on the inside of the arms and the inside of the wrists, underside of the wrists. And now let the arms come overhead. You'll bring your chin to your chest, lift your gaze, and look towards your big toe as you place your hands behind your head. And let your elbows come out wide. And then taking that left elbow towards the left knee. And slowly let your upper body find the floor again. Now we're opening a stretch on the right side of the body. Feel it along the right rib cage. And we'll take some breaths. Imagine if you could breathe into the right side of your ribs. Directing expansion there. And feel a stretch in the space between the ribs. And try to keep your upper body relaxed. Good. If you want a little more here, bend your right knee and then cross your right ankle over your left ankle. And slowly begin to straighten your right leg from there. So you're pushing your heel into the floor and then just sliding the heel along the floor, pushing outward so you're getting a little bit deeper angle on this side bend into the hip, the outer hip. Starting to create a vector of energy along the outside of the body. Nice curve along the outside of the body. If you want a little more, there's one more level here. This left hand can reach over the top of the head and grab a hold of that right elbow if that's an option for you. All of this is optional. Just stay with where you were if this isn't an option for you. But if it is, you can take that elbow and then draw it in a little closer to the center of the body. Maybe directly over the head if that's possible. You get a nice tricep stretch here. And now you can see this nice arc all the way along the right side of the body. And each level draws up a new level of awareness in terms of sensation. And with sensation, we have invitation. Invitation to breathe into that particular area. Sensation is communication from the body. Two more breaths here, staying with this Stretch at whatever level you're choosing to participate. Know that these side bends are great for moving lymph fluid and giving our spine the flexibility it needs to bend from side to side. From here, we're rolling on to our left side, drawing the knees to the chest. Good, extending both of our arms forward, palms together, and then drawing just that right arm up and twisting all the way back into a reclined twist, keeping both knees over to the left. We'll gaze over our right arm and breathe into the expansion now across the chest. Relaxing into any parts of tension that come into your awareness, softening and letting go. Now draw the knees up into the chest a little higher. You'll feel a little tug in the core as you pull your navel to your spine and the knees lift to the chest. You'll support the lower body by engaging the core and lifting the knees back to the center, hugging the knees to the chest and neutral spine. And then once again, place the feet to the floor. Inside the heels and arches together, and then externally rotate the hips open. Draw the palms together at the heart. Push firmly into the soles of the feet and into the palms of the hand, pressing towards the center line of the body. Imagine all of your energy being called to the center, the central axis. Pressing the energy to the center and then slowly relax and open slightly. Soften. And feel the energy expanding a little broader along that column through your center. And then exhale, press firmly again. Contract, squeeze, and call the energy into more of a concentration through the center of the body. Good, and then relax and open. Soften and feel the blood flow returning like a river of life through the center. One more time, squeeze, give it all you have. Use the muscles of the legs and arms, really tense all the muscles towards the center, and then relax. Take a moment to feel the circulation returning. Let your arms rest to the side. And let's draw our left knee up and slowly extend the left leg. Pausing for a moment here. Feel the openness across that pelvic bowl. Breathe into the belly. Feel an expansion of your awareness coming down below the navel, the heart below the horizon. Good. Draw the arms overhead, stretch into the side body. Interlace your fingers and draw the hands down to the heart. Fingers interlaced. We'll stretch the fingers and stretch the inside of the wrists as we flex that foot as though we're trying to pin our big toe into our hands. Good. Draw a breath in, reach the arms overhead. Stay flexed with that foot. Now draw your chin to your chest. Rise up with that upper body, engaging the navel. Look at your big toe. Draw your hands behind your head to support your neck. Pull your elbows back. Keep using the core. And then from the core strength, laterally bend your spine towards the right. So your right elbow coming towards your right knee. Hold for a moment, look up, keep your elbows wide, and slowly exhale with control back into the support of the floor beneath you. And start to feel the stretch along the rib cage on that left side. If it helps, you can take your right hand over to the left side and breathe in and imagine feeling an expansion like you're blowing up a balloon. Imagine breathing just into your left lung. Even though that's not entirely possible, if we give more of our attention to that area, more of our energy will go there, accentuating the stretch. Keep inviting sensation to come forward from deep within the body to the surface so that we can relate to the patterns that are emerging to be met. Breathe a little space into them so that they can transform, if they're ready, into something that allows more flow. Now, if you want the next level, bending the left knee and crossing your left ankle over your right. And if you want more, still just pressing into the heel and straighten that leg out so that the inside of the right ankle is resting under the left thigh. And you'll feel that stretch right down, deeper from the rib cage down into the outer hip. Starting to lengthen out our curve here. Notice the sensations that arise and give attention there. And if you want more, take that right arm overhead and reach across the top of the head to that left elbow. And then with that hand, draw that left elbow a little closer to the center line of the body, almost to the top of the head, or depending on your flexibility. Let it land where it may till you feel a nice stretch in the tricep. And trace that line of energy all the way down the tricep, down the side body to the outer hip. Take some full spacious breaths here into this arc along the side body. And then bending both knees, stacking them over to the right. We'll roll onto our right side. Pulling our knees up into our chest. Good. Bring both arms over to the right, palms together. And then lifting that left arm up and rolling over, looking across the left arm as we go into our spinal twist. And breathing into the chest, big expansive breaths into the chest now. Draw both knees up into the chest. Use your core strength here to lift the lower body back to center. Hug those knees into the chest. Good, feel that movement. Create a little bit more space in that lumbar spine. Take your attention there. Breathe in and imagine a little more space between each vertebrae of the lumbar spine. And then bring the attention up into the thoracic spine. Breathe in and imagine that section of the spine having an increased flow of energy and increased space between the vertebrae. Straighten the legs and bend the knees. Straighten the legs and bend the knees. Now bring your chin to your chest, tucking into a ball and seeing the space open up between the back of the cervical vertebrae. And as you release your upper body, do so slowly as if you're lengthening your spine as you lower. And then let's place the knees directly over the hips. You can use your hands to support that. Find the support you need for under your neck or head. And then bring your feet level with the knees. So your heels are creating a parallel line to the knees. Knees directly over the hips. Good. And we'll bring our elbows up over the shoulders and let the forearms come parallel to the floor. Wrists lined up with the elbows. Just hold this position for a moment. Let your shoulders roll back into the floor rather than rounding forward. Flatten the upper back to the floor. We're going to challenge our core strength here and our brain. So get ready. We'll start really simply by straightening the right leg and then the left arm. Doing a cross-lateral movement here, working left and right hemisphere of the brain. Now bring those back to the beginning point, or starting point, and we'll do the same thing with the left leg extend and the right arm extend. Now if that, for any reason, that isn't safe for your back, I'll show you the alternative. Bring it back to the center. Good, and we'll go with the right leg again. Instead of extending the leg straight, just lower the foot towards the floor, keeping the knee bent. And do the same thing with the arm, just reaching that elbow back. Good, that's your modification. If you're able to straighten the arm and leg, that will take a little bit more core strength. Challenging you a little deeper, but work with the level that supports you today. Come back to the center, switch sides. Left leg, right arm. You can stay with the knee elbow for now. And then straighten. Bring it back to the center. Good. One more time on each side. Working at the capacity that supports you of those options. Feel and put your attention squarely in your core. A deep core strength below the navel. Opposite side, left leg, right arm, reach and hold. And back to the center. Good, now if you have the capacity to straighten your legs straight up towards the sky and straighten your arms straight up towards the sky. The pose of the bear. You can hold this here or bend your knees and just straighten your arms. Or find the modification that supports you. We want to flex our feet and keep the soles of our feet facing heaven. Keep the shoulders relaxed into the floor. Think about having 4 pillars. The 2 legs and the 2 arms. You want to square all the weight. Distribute it evenly through all 4 pillars. Good. We're going to stay here for 2 more breaths. Be sure to bend your knees if you need to. Recirculating blood flow back towards the heart. Let's point the toes and flex. Point and flex. One more time, point and flex. Bend the knees. Bend the elbows, rest the elbows to the floor, rest the arms to the floor, and then rotate the ankles clockwise, counterclockwise. Good, and hug the knees back into the chest. Very good. We'll go back into a spinal twist now as we release our left leg to the floor. Keep the right knee towards the chest. Good, and with a rotation, draw our right knee over to the left side and our right arm in the opposite direction. Continuing to encourage circulation towards the center of the body. And then our twists just creates a spiral energy in the body that helps move fluids through the tissue. Think about wringing out a wet towel and create this spiraling effect. Good, and coming back to the center, draw the knee into the chest. And the foot to the floor, and slowly extend the leg. Reaching the arms overhead, take a deep breath in as you lengthen. And exhale again, both knees to the chest. Creating a nice even stretch across the low back, the lumbar spine, gentle rocking from side to side, feels good. For most of us, if it doesn't for you, then you can avoid that part. Avoid any piece that doesn't feel good for you, for that matter. Extend your right leg now. Keep your left knee to the chest. And then support your left knee with your right arm as you go into your reclined twist. Extending the left arm. Look out the left arm. Good. And settle into the breath. Let every breath be an invitation to soften a little bit more around the edges. Edges being the areas where we hold tension and tightness. Inviting this energy of unwinding. It's a very interesting paradox that we wind our body to unwind. Another interesting thought that just came to mind, come back to the center, draw both knees to the chest, is that the word wound is the same as the word wound. So sometimes where we're wound up or we're wound tight, we're covering up a wound. We're tightening around a wound that wasn't processed. Now roll onto your side facing me. And we'll slowly come up. So the spine has been relaxed and decompressed. And we're going to come up to a seated position and find that Z seat that we've worked with in the past. So if you're coming up and your knees are together, you just simply let your top knee slide and find the bottom of your opposite foot. And then find your strap, just have it handy in case you need it. And for those of you that like, you can take a little blanket or pillow under your seat. It can be helpful. Create some comfort, as much comfort as you can here. Draw the arms overhead. Inhale up. Interlace the fingers. Push up through the heels of the hands. And then let's take a side bend towards, for me it's the right side. Good, we're feeling a nice stretch and a lifting and a lengthening on the side body. Do a lot of side body work. If it's safe for your neck, you can draw the ear towards the shoulder and roll that elbow back and look up at it, if that's safe for your neck. Looking good. Now come on up, straighten the spine, release the arms behind the back, and interlace the fingers if that's possible for you. Draw the shoulders back. Good, lift the sternum and exhale forward. Let your chest rest between your thighs. Now you can take your pillow or anything that you have in front of you so that as you lay down, you have a little bit of space to fill between where your flexibility lands you and the floor. The arms can come out in front to support you. We're just allowing our torso to rest between our knees in Z seat. A little bit different version of forward bend than you might be used to. Try it out and see what works. You could be even up here, this high and leaning forward, still getting a good stretch. That might be enough for you. Or take it a little further and using the breath as a guide, an invitation, and a vehicle to take you as deep into the stretch as is appropriate for you today. And once you find your edge, we'll just stay with that for a couple breaths. Noticing what arises and breathing with it without trying to fix, change, or heal anything. We're just being aware of what's rising up from the depths to be met, to be integrated, to be witnessed. Using the core strength, slowly come up, stacking the spine one vertebrae at a time. Take the hand to the knee and open up the hip and extend the leg. Now from here, if you're using a strap, you might want to take your strap around your foot. Sit up tall, draw back on the strap so that the elbows come back towards the hips. Sit up tall with a flat back. And then begin to hinge from the hips, not bending at the waist and rounding the back, but as we hinge from the hips, our back stays flat. Just pause about halfway determined by your flexibility. Not halfway to the leg, but where's your halfway point? And just notice what your relationship is to the halfway point. Is there an eagerness to go the rest of the way? Are you okay hanging out at halfway? Just notice the mind's relationship to slowing down, pausing. Take it a little further if you'd like, 75%. Without being in any hurry to get to the finish line. You could even back out at 75% and go back to 50, or go to what might be closer to your edge. Staying attentive to the sensations that are arising and the shift in awareness as you move deeper into these stretches. What's rising up to be met? What kind of compensation is rising up as well, like tensing in the shoulders or maybe a tightness in the jaw. Just be aware. And we'll come halfway out of our stretch from wherever we are and hang out here. Sort of like diving. You don't want to come up all the way too fast. And let the body adjust and slowly come up and out of your stretch. Bend the knee. Take your hands underneath. Reach for the opposite elbow. Lean back. And we're simply just going to straighten the leg and bend the knee. Good. And straightening doesn't mean completely straight. It's straightening to the degree that you can straighten the leg and flex the foot, and then bend the knee and point the toe. And it's just nice and easy, fluid movements. slower than you think you want to do it. It's by slowing down that we actually start to feel more. And in feeling more, we're communicating, connecting more intimately. Now, from wherever the foot lands that feels comfortable, rotate the ankle. Reverse direction. Good. And then with the opposite hand, take the foot and cross it over into a position for a seated twist. If crossing the foot over the opposite knee is uncomfortable, to the inside of the knee is perfectly fine. We're going to be doing a seated twist. So we want our hips square, and they can be on a blanket as long as you're not on one hip more than the other, but there's a nice squareness, a stability with equal distribution of weight on the hips, and hugging the knee into the chest. Good. Stay lifted with the spine. Begin twisting from the lower part of the spine upward, taking the gaze all the way over the shoulder and letting your free hand rest behind you, and even propping the spine up a little, getting a little more lift in the spine by using that arm, kind of like a kickstand, if you will. Staying with the breath, again in a twist, winding to unwind. Good. Unwinding in the reverse order, so the gaze starts to come forward, and notice the shoulders follow, and the spine comes back to neutral. Taking the foot into the lap, come to a cross-legged position, hands on the knees, hinging forward. Good. Let's start to rotate in circles. Now we've been drawing energy along and into the spine. We're going to kind of stir it up, literally up. So we're stirring the energy, and imagine seeing it rise up the spine. Imagine seeing all of the organs take their portion. Not too little, not too much, just enough of this energy to sustain their function. Good. Reverse direction now. We want to imagine that our legs are roots and they're sinking deep into the earth. Our torso is the trunk and our arms are the branches. So as we do this stirring, we're stirring the energy up from the roots, seeing it spiral up into the trunk and out into the branches. And then, of course, down into the hands and back to the roots. So it's a circular motion of reciprocity. Come back to the center and uncross the legs, bring the knees together. And if you would like to challenge your core, you can lift your legs. You can still challenge your core by leaning backwards. Try not to round the shoulders. If you really would like to add a little extra core challenge, lift the legs. You can have your hands supporting underneath. If you want more, you can straighten the legs. I hope I don't have any tar on my feet. Bring the arms to the side. Good. Bend the knees to the chest. Take the feet to the floor. And take the knees in the opposite direction. We'll go back into Z seat, sliding the top knee so that our feet are separated. Our hips are square, finding that cushion underneath your hips if you need it. Take the arms overhead, breathe in. Feel lifting up the side body, rotating the heels of the hands up towards heaven. and then taking that side bend. Good. So just start moving the weight of the body to the side, and then we'll go ahead and tune it up a little bit. Get a little more length if we feel that our body can go a little deeper. We'll start by letting the ear drop towards the shoulder a little more. Good. Taking that top elbow, pressing it backwards and looking up towards the elbow. Takes that stretch a little deeper. Totally optional. Good. Come out of that side bend. Inhale up. Good. And exhale the arms down. Take your time, slowly feeling the blood flow returning to the hands now. Good. And take the knee and open up the quad. Extend the legs straight. And find your strap. Place the strap around the foot. We'll try to keep our opposite knee to the floor as we move into this forward fold. Pull the elbows back so that the elbows are close to the ribs to lift the spine and support the spine upright. Hinge from the hips, looking at the big toe, and just go part way. Hold it here. The foot is flexed. The back of the leg is getting some length. Our breath is deep. Good. See if we can even lengthen out the back of the neck, bringing that chin towards the sternum, looking down at the knee. Good. Soften up on the grip on your strap now. Relax that tension. And if you want to go a little deeper, go ahead and go to the next level. Good. We're going to gradually go in and gradually come out of this stretch. Taking our time. Soften the shoulders. Good. One more dip in. The next level, go to your edge. Come out part way and hold. Come up a little further. Release the strap. Come up all the way, lean back a little. Draw the knee into the chest, scoop under, and support yourself here. Again, if you want the extra, go ahead and put that cushion under your seat. And we'll start just by letting the weight of the leg rest here. So the full weight of the leg resting, noticing the relaxation in the foot. The toes are relaxing and gravity's pulling them towards the center of the earth. And then we lift the leg as high as we can and flex and lower. Good. So it's an inhale. Breathe in. Imagine the leg filling with air being lifted, the foot flexed. And exhale, gravity pulling back to the earth. A couple more. Moving through this nice and slow. See if you can time the movements with the breath. Inhale up, flex. Exhale down. Last one. Good, and just let that rest there for a moment, or wherever it feels good. Maybe a little higher, and rotate the ankle. Reverse direction. clearing out stagnant energy in the joints. Good, let's take this opposite hand. For me, it's my right hand. I'm placing my foot into position for my seated twist. Again, the option to go to the inside of the knees, perfectly fine. Square those hips. I'll do the modified version on this side. Draw the arm across, hug the knee to the chest, sit up tall. Good. Reach the arm around, look up. And exhale as you twist. Start to watch and track the spine. Follow the movement of the twist up the spine, into the thoracic, into the cervical. Good, and draw everything towards the center of the body, meaning that this arm is pulling this knee towards the center. Come out of the twist gently. Draw the knees together. One more time, slide that knee back into Z seat. Bring the fingers interlace, press out through the heels of the hands, reach up. Exhale, bring the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Roll the shoulders back, lift the sternum up. And then hinge forward, exhale. And when you're ready, release the hands forward to support you in this forward fold. Going a little deeper, if that's appropriate for you. Good. Find that space of moving in two directions simultaneously. So the tailbone is reaching backward as the crown of the head reaches forward. Feel that dynamic tension of moving in two opposing directions simultaneously, and pay attention to the space between those points of interest and look for the space opening up. Feel for it, I shall say, instead of looking for it. You're looking for it through sensation, feeling into what's present. Being a witness to the increased flow that's generated by creating space through stretching into the openness that's already existing within us. Falling open to receive the benefits of this flow, this internal medicine that's inside every one of us. We're activating it intentionally and layer by layer with each one of these stretches. We'll come out of our forward fold slowly, come up part way, settle here for a breath. And come up the rest of the way, settle here, and bringing the knees to the floor in seated cross-leg in whatever position is comfortable for you. Have your seat under you sturdy. Good. We're going to bring our hands together, interlace the finger, rolling the wrists, and the forearms together and the elbows. Pressing through the heels of the hands, push out, overhead, hands behind the head, elbows back. Good, and then push out through the heels of the hands and stretch. Good, bring your right hand forward, palm towards the heart. Take the left hand as you turn the palm now away from the heart. You're going to press out, stretch the wrist. Good. Now bring the right elbow back, and you're going to press and stretch the wrist again. And then draw the arm across the chest, stretch the shoulder. Good, now crossing at the wrist, interlace the fingers and draw the hands to the heart. Reach the arms up and overhead. Inhale. Palms come down and exhale. Good. That's taking the left hand towards the heart. And then turn the left palm away from the heart. With the right hand coming in, we'll stretch. Pulling the left elbow back and then push fingers into the palm. Good, and pull that arm across the chest, stretch the shoulder. Come back to the center, interlace the fingers with the left wrist crossed over the right. Pull the hands into the center. Good. Pull the hands down a little lower. Really feel the wrist stretch. Unwind the arms. Extend them out in front and overhead. Hands behind the head. And exhale. Draw the knees into the chest. And let's find a comfortable position on our back where we can be for about 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes in our final relaxation. So this transition onto the back is again going back to where we began to decompress the spine. This can be done with a bolster under the knees for those that like that support. It's very kind on the back. Kindness is key when we're doing gentle yoga. Good. There can be a little falling open here in the hips, and let the feet turn out, the knees rest. Same thing with the shoulders. Let the shoulders externally rotate and the palms turn out. Closing the eyes, and then just notice what wants to be acknowledged. Something is here, waiting for your acknowledgement. Each one of us uniquely positioned in a body full of intelligence and creativity, seeking to express and offer that to our community. So with nothing to fix, change, or heal, in order to offer that, what wants to be offered? I'll just drop that question in the field as we rest and wait for the answer. Begin to wiggle the fingers and toes and draw your attention to your hands and feet. Notice the movement naturally moving into the wrists and the ankles, up into the forearms and the calves, to the knees and the elbows. Make any movements that are natural for you, to the hips and the shoulders. Anything that feels good to finish and feel complete with your practice, and then rolling onto your side, again facing me. Take your time and come up slowly. Bringing ourselves upright into a comfortable seated position. Take the hands to the knees again, roll the shoulders back, sit up nice and tall. Feels good. Now rotate in one direction and the other, and the center, and around again. That's it. 2 more. Great, and then reverse direction and just see your physical body, your form flowing like energy. The energy is internally and externally. The body is the instrument that connects the inner and the outer. Let it move freely and fluidly like the energy inside and out. Bring the hands together at the palm and towards the chest. Good. Hinging forward again, bowing in honor of yourself and each person that's come together for this experience and all other beings that we share this life with. Namaste. Let's unmute and see who's here.